Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go ahead and get started with our luncheon. I want to thank everybody for coming out today. Great crowd. Very excited to see so many people here. Excited to have AppHarvest in the house today. First and foremost, let's do an opening prayer. From East Somerset Baptist Church, I'd like to have Pastor Darby Finnison please come forward to bless our lunch.
Let's bow in prayer. Our Heavenly Father, we come before you today, and we just thank you. We thank you for the opportunity that's brought us together. Lord, we're looking forward to being informed and encouraged, and just for the privilege of being a part of this gathering and all that it represents. We pray today that as we gather, you will bless not only the time together, the meal that we're partaking of, but Lord, the businesses, the families, our community that's represented here. We thank you for being so good to us, for the blessings that we enjoy every day. Most of all for Jesus, we ask these things in his name. Amen.
Thank you very much, Pastor Finnison. Before we get started, just want to say a quick word. A lot of you all may have heard that we lost one of our board members recently, Lisa Evans. I know she was a friend to a lot of people here in this room, and I'd just like to ask everybody to keep her family in your thoughts and prayers. Lisa was a wonderful human being, and we're sure going to miss her. I want to thank Modern Security. Modern's here today, and they're providing the fever detection systems as you were on your way in. We want to make sure that we're being safe and responsible at these luncheons. So I want to thank David Morris and his entire team over at Modern for providing those fever detection systems. Also want to let everybody know we are live on Facebook today, So if you couldn't make it to our luncheon, hopefully a lot of you are watching at home. Hopefully Facebook's working today. I think it is. I haven't really checked it. I want to go ahead and I think we're going to go ahead and we'll get into our video spotlights. So this is something that we have been doing on a monthly basis, our video spotlights. These are award winners from our banquet this past January. So I would ask everybody to kind of, keep the noise down just a little bit as we do these. We like to recognize two of our Business of the Year winners every year. We think we put together one of the best virtual awards banquets in the state of Kentucky, if not this part of the country. It was a phenomenal effort, something we'd never done before, and we're trying to recognize these people on a monthly basis just to give them some additional recognition. So today, I believe are we doing Coca-Cola first? Is that right? Yes? So our first Business of the Year, this is in the 21 to 50 employee category, Middlesboro Coca-Cola Bottling Works. So let's go ahead and play that video. The Chamber's 2020 Business of the Year in the 21 to 50 employee category is working hard to satisfy Somerset's thirst. Middlesboro Coca-Cola is a fifth-generation family-owned business started by Richard Morehouse Berry over 110 years ago. In 1904, Richard Morehouse Berry started bottling Coca-Cola in the back of a candy store with a foot-pedal bottling machine. His Coca-Cola was delivered by a horse wagon and by the railroad system. With 6 employees, a plant was established in London, Kentucky in 1913. And eventually, all operations moved to Middlesboro Coca-Cola Bottling in Middlesboro, Kentucky. Had Mr. and Mrs. Berry lived, they would have seen their operation grow into the modern Coca-Cola bottling plant that is a significant employer to our local community. Richard Berry's grandson, Neil Berry Jr., is the current president of Middlesboro Coca-Cola and has served on the Board of Governors of the Coca-Cola Bottlers Association and the Coca-Cola Bottlers Foundation. Middlesboro Coca-Cola is very proud of their local accomplishments, which include providing free beverages to multiple events in 2020. that include Lowe's Beautify the Park Initiative in downtown Somerset, Pro Trade Hardware's Breast Cancer Awareness Fundraiser, Chamber of Commerce monthly luncheons, and first responders that included the police, EMS, and medical centers. Middlesboro Coca-Cola also helped support local restaurants during the pandemic by donating fountain products free of charge. They also assisted all company employees with 2 bonus checks during the COVID outbreak for them working as essential workers, as well as gave money to a local family in need recently for Christmas. Congratulations to our 2020 Business of the Year in the 21 to 50 employee category, Middlesboro Coca-Cola.
We're here with Terry Zimmerman today, and Terry, on behalf of the Chamber of Commerce, we would like to present Middlesboro Coca-Cola Bottling with a 2020 Business of the Year Award for 21 to 50 employees.
Thank you very much. I appreciate the Chamber and this award. On behalf of the Berry family, Middlesboro Coca-Cola, myself, and Somerset Coca-Cola, thank you again to the Chamber for this award.
Terry, once again, congratulations. Thank you for putting out a great product that we all love and enjoy. And thank you for just diving into our community. Thank you for all you do.
Thank you very much. And again, we proudly serve the community and the surrounding areas that we do serve. Thanks, everyone.
So the second award we're going to highlight is actually, it's the second highest award that we hand out every year. It's our Entrepreneurial Success Story. And we handed that out to somebody who was incredibly deserving. Really enjoyed hearing their story this past year too. Entrepreneurial Success Story Award winner, Mr. Larry Turpin. Let's go ahead and play that video. The Chamber of Commerce Entrepreneurial Success Award recognizes business owners and entrepreneurs who have dared to dream, taken risks, and contributed to our region's economic success. Larry Dean Turpin was raised on a farm in western Pulaski County in a tight-knit community called Nancy. He was raised in church by wonderful parents who taught him respect, honesty, generosity, and a good work ethic. Like many Pulaski Countians, Larry followed older brothers and sisters to Ohio in search of better wages. He worked at GM for a period of 6 months. It didn't take long for him to realize he belonged in Pulaski County. At the age of 21, Larry became married to Phyllis Jones Turpin. 4 years later, they started their family. Brett, then Michelle, and later their grandchildren, Jackson, Sawyer, Bentley, and Luke. Then in 1977, Larry opened his first automotive business. And in 1988, Toyota Somerset was founded. The dealership has won the prestigious President's Award almost every year they have been in business. Year in and year out, the dealership excels in parts, sales, and service, and constantly ranks in the top 10% of the nation for customer retention and, most importantly, customer satisfaction. Larry has never been one to seek attention or accolades. He has always remained humble and thankful for being able to help anyone in need. Larry's values carry over from his personal life to business. No job is too big or too small for him to lend a helping hand. One could find Larry working right by a technician or in a bucket truck changing light bulbs. Larry is always staying busy. When he isn't at Toyota, you can find him on the family farm, bush hogging, or out enjoying life with his grandchildren who are his pride and joy. Throughout the years, Larry has served as a Chamber of Commerce board member, an Industrial Foundation board member, a region board member for Toyota, and a district board member for Toyota. After 43 years in business, everyone asks when Larry is going to retire, and he smiles and says, "I'm just getting started." Please join me in congratulating our 2020 Entrepreneurial Success Story, Mr. Larry Turpin.
Larry, on behalf of the Chamber of Commerce, we'd like to present you with the 2020 Entrepreneurial Success Story.
I want to thank you guys for this, and this is a tremendous honor, and I appreciate the Chamber and their leadership. They do a great job for this community, and each time they've changed to different leadership. They've improved, and I appreciate this. You don't know how much. Thanks.
Larry, congratulations. It's great to have people like you in our community with that entrepreneurial spirit. Thank you and congratulations.
Thank you, Matt. Appreciate it. Again, thanks a lot.
I'd like to go ahead and recognize our information tables as well that are here today. So this is a free service that we provide. I think we've got a pretty full house out there too. I would encourage everybody, if you want to come set up an information table, they are first come, first serve. There's no charge if you're a chamber member to do so. Just call the office and we can reserve one of those for you. And I'd like to recognize the people that are here. So Acelicom, Holiday Inn Express, Skyhope, Cumberland Falls State Park, Lake Cumberland Regional Hospital, Edward Jones Investments, Stephen Booth, agent, the United Way, Eastern Kentucky University, Wells Family Crafts, First Choice Clinic of Somerset, Fork Broadcasting, WTLO Radio, Benchmark Family Services, Minuteman Press, good to see you back over there, Gary, Citizens Bank, Lake Cumberland Art Association, Glory Gardens and Greenhouse, and Campbellsville University of Somerset. Let's give these guys a big round of applause. Also want to thank Glory Gardens and Greenhouses and their team for coming out and putting some fall foliage on our tables today. So you can take any of this home you'd like. Mums are $5. Those are good looking mums for $5. And pumpkins are $3. So if you've not gotten started on your front porches yet, you can do it right here today. You can do those, and you find where's our team at? There they are, right over there with the orange little thing right there. So if you go over there, take whatever, they'll take your money. Is that right? Does that sound good? They'll be happy to help you. Thank you all for doing that too. I really appreciate it. They look beautiful. Next thing we're going to do is something I'm pretty excited about. So today we're very excited to have Campbellsville University Interim President Dr. Keith Spears in attendance for a special presentation. You know, Dr. Spears actually taught me something earlier this year when he spoke. He taught me the correct way to say Appalachia. So he said, you throw an apple at ya. Now I know how to say that word correctly, so thank you, Dr. Spears. Now, some of you know earlier this year, we concluded hosting our 9th annual Young Entrepreneurs Academy. This program takes middle and high school students through a rigorous 20-week program to teach them how to start and run their own business. At the end of the program, we hand out a lot of money, and the eventual winner receives a 4-year college scholarship to Campbellsville University. To date, the Chamber has handed out over $63,000 to aspiring entrepreneurs who have graduated from the YAY program. The Chamber has also awarded 7 full scholarships to winners of this program to Campbellsville University. The calculated value of those scholarships is in excess of $675,000. At this time, I would like to ask Dr. Spears to please come forward to present a scholarship to this year's winner, Mr. Ethan Brainerd.
Wow. Can you all hear me in the back? All right, everybody knows how to say apple. See, that's the reason you get a college education, just to learn a few things like that, right? How to say Appalachia. So we appreciate very much being here with you today. And I've stumbled my way up here, so I apologize. But I've got this boot on. I've had it for several weeks. So if I fall, you're going to catch me, right? Okay, that's the direction we want to go. Where's Ethan? Hey, Ethan, come on up here for a moment. I'm going to ask Angie Travis also to join us here. Each year, Campbellsville University provides a scholarship to a young aspiring individual. Now, Ethan, you're not going to stand down there. Nobody's going to see you down there. This is marketing, brother. Get up here. Come on. Now, he really understands marketing because he is a seller. For those who, he's into myopathy or mycology. Let me drill that down a little bit for you. He's into fleshy fungi. Well, okay, mushrooms is what it is, right? So Ethan has an entrepreneurial stature that not only does he grow mushrooms that are ecologically friendly, is that right? Can I say it that way? Ecologically friendly. But they don't have waste. They don't do anything to the environment. Actually, they help the environment. But guess what? You can also eat them. I was hoping that we were going to have mushrooms here today. Ethan, what'd you do? Sell all your mushrooms? Is that what happened? Okay. Yeah. Okay. Well, as an entrepreneur, he sold all the mushrooms, and so we didn't have them here today. He does grow them, and he sells them at the farm to table restaurants. He does that regularly. One is the Bluebird restaurant. Is that right? Over in Sanford. So if you go over there and have a steak with onions and mushrooms, you know that Ethan's been the guy behind us. The real power behind Ethan is sitting over at the table, though, right here. I'm going to ask his family to stand up right over here. John? All right, look at this, all right? Ethan, you know how mom, dad, and your brothers, they just kind of mushroomed up. You notice how they did that? Ladies and gentlemen, I want to tell you that I'm going to ask Angie to come forward. We're giving this scholarship to Ethan, and mom and dad, you're going to like this. Somebody said, well, how much is this scholarship worth? It's worth 100% of tuition. That's what it's worth. If I just gave you a number today and the tuition went up, then I would say, nah, I'm going to keep that extra money. No. Whenever he comes to school, you pay no tuition. Right? All right? And that's not for the first year or the second year or the third year, but all the way for 4 years. What's going to happen for this young man? Because we've just been talking to these guys down at this table. As Campbellsville University, you're going to hear it first from me today, and I'll probably regret it later, but you're going to hear it first from me today. Campbellsville University is initiating an agribusiness program, and that's going to be my first graduate right here, right here. Ethan, all right. No, open this thing up. Open it. Oh, no, you got to show them the certificate, all right? Let's open this up. All right, now, you turn around. All right, see that? Okay. Thanks, folks. See you now.
Let's give Ethan another big round of applause. That's a big deal. High school student with a 4-year college scholarship. So I know I see Farrah out there, who is our program manager for this. It's a ton of work when we're doing this program. You know, we don't know if it's worth it or not. And then we'd see this right here. Let's get started. Year number 10. Let's get going. Pretty excited. Just full disclosure, we might run a few minutes over today. We've got some really great guests in, and we've got a big program. We are not going to rush anybody. So we might run a few minutes over today, and that's okay. Next up, we have something that we do every single year since I've been here that we have hosted in the fall. We do a kickoff campaign for the United Way. And I know that Crystal Cox is back there, and I believe that, where's Crystal? There you are. I was looking at your thing back. So Crystal is going to come up, and she's going to take a couple of minutes to talk about their kickoff campaign, and she might even have something fun to raffle off.
I'm so excited to be here with you. I'm right at 15 months into this position, and I love it a little more every day. I'm learning a little more every day. I do want to take a moment to say thank you to several people who make our work possible. I would be remiss if I didn't mention our other staff person, Paula, who's here with us today, our board members. And on your tables, you should have a nice little packet here. Grab that packet for me. If you don't have one, look on with somebody else. On the front page there, we have several businesses who in the last year really stepped up to support our community. On the back side of that front page, you will see our Leadership Giving Circle. If you are part of our staff, board, any of those businesses on the front or the Leadership Giving Circle on the back, I'd ask you please just to stand so our community can really see the impact that you all have and the network of people we have working together to increase our network and grow our vision across the community. Don't be shy. I know I've got several board members here, if nothing else. Thank you all so much. You allow us to do the work that we do and impact lives across the region. So let's take a look at the last year. We all know a lot can change in a year. We purchased a new office. If you've not seen it yet, it's at 206 West Mount Vernon Street. We renovated an 1890s home in our community, turned it into an office space. We're 2 lots west of the county gas pumps behind the courthouse if you're ever looking for us. After purchasing that office, we bought the dilapidated building next door and were able to have it cleared. Our goal for that property is to create a parking lot with handicap accessibility to our rear entrance. And it cleaned up downtown quite a lot if you've not driven by. We have an intern. I'm so excited for this. Brady is a senior at Pulaski County High School. He's interested in computer sciences, and he's working with us to help us kind of transition our office into a more digital workspace. We are now part of the 211 expansion that happens statewide. In your packet, you've got information about 211. This is a one-stop resource for non-emergency needs. So the same way you call 911 when it's an emergency, you can call 211 when it's not an emergency. Please share this information with your staff, your churches, your friends. If you need copies of flyers or anything to get that out, please let me know. It's a really, really great resource across our state. And we've added some fun events. And I am a fan of fun. If you can't tell, that's me and the banana. I like fun. So this has been really challenging times to fundraise. We've added events to offset some of what we've lost through workplace campaigns. We hope you'll follow us on our Facebook and stay up to date with all of the other events that we'll have coming up this year. And maybe the thing I'm most excited about, besides the thing Bobby mentioned earlier, we have a website. This is new for us. It's a labor of love, but it's www.uwscky.org. Please go there today, share that with your friends, share it across your social media channels. You can learn more about us, complete our community needs survey, sign up to be a volunteer, pledge or give online, access 211, and so much more from our new website. And just as a reminder of some of the ways that you can be involved with us, they're up on your screen. We hope that you will join our network to better impact the lives of our neighbors and friends across the 10-county region. Consider a workplace campaign, joining one of our affinity groups, which there's information in that packet about our affinity groups. We appreciate the long-standing support of our business community. The partnerships that we've established with you allow us to impact the lives across our region. So kind of on to what Bobby said, we might have something fun. Would the representative from Ford Brothers Auctioneers please come forward to help me out with this? We have, thanks to First and Farmers National Bank, which is today's luncheon sponsor, 4 tickets for the University of Kentucky versus Tennessee football game. These are section 208, row 8, seats 1 through 4. Okay, I guess Ford Brothers didn't show up today. Auctioning is not my strong point, so I really need your help. Verlin, are you here? Someone said you're here. Will you step up for us? Please give Verlin a round of applause for being put on the spot.
All right, we're going to come out of the gate. You've got 4 tickets. Where's your display? Right here. 4 UK versus UT tickets. Row 8, seat 1 through 4. Section 208. And what's the date on that? November the 6th. All right, ladies and gentlemen, you know what it's worth. What do you want to give? 2 grand, go. 2 grand, 2 grand, 1,500, 1,500. I got 200 and gone now. 3, 200 now, $300. 3, but I'm on 3, but I'm on 3. 3 now, $400, 4, 4, 4, 4, 300 now, 4, but I'm on 350, 350, 350, 350, 300 now, 50, 350 now, 400, 400 now, 450, 450, 450, 500, 500, 5, but 5, 5, but 5, 5, $500, 450 now, 5, 450 now, 5, but 5, but 5, 5, but 5. We're under the money here, Tanya. You got any loan? 450, 500, 500, 450 now, 5 and 5, 5 and 5, 5 and 450 now, $500, 5 now, 550, 550, 550, 500 now, 550, 550, 550, 550, ma'am, 550, 550, now 600, 600, 600, 550 now, $600, but on 6, 6, 6, 6, 6. I got 550, 600, $600, 6, but I'm on 6, but I'm on 6, 6, 7 on 6. Sold it to you, sir. $550 straight away. Bidder number. He don't have one. Come up. She'll get you information. Thank you all.
Verlin to the rescue. So we've got some, so it's time to turn the program over now. I'm going to go ahead. So Matt Ford, give him a hard time. Matt's on vacation today. The audacity of him going on vacation during fall break. So Matt is not going to be here. Luckily, our first vice president is here with us, Miss Tiffany Finley. Tiffany is going to come up and she's going to QB this program and bring it home for us today. So this is her first luncheon. So everybody stare at her and make her really nervous, okay? Tiffany, come on up.
Thank you. I will do my best. So good afternoon, everyone. We will call the meeting to order. We are so excited to have AppHarvest here. What an exciting time to live in Pulaski County. First, I'd like to welcome all our guests, public officials, and the representatives, and our chamber members. Next, I want to thank our world-class sponsors, Chairman Circle sponsors, and Ambassador Circle sponsors. Please take the time to review those on the table tents on your tables or up here on the wall. We could not do what we do without our sponsors, so we're very thankful for them. And don't worry, AppHarvest, there's still some room for you guys when you come to the community. So let's give them a hand. I also want to acknowledge the Center for Rural Development, Lonnie Lawson, if you're here, for giving us the meeting space. I want to thank Karen's Catering for the wonderful meal today, and Middlesboro Coca-Cola for the refreshments. I will now turn it over to our second vice president. I don't have to do this today. So Sean Daughtery, welcome our new members.
Tiffany always does such a good job with this, but you guys are stuck with me today, so a few mispronunciations, if you will, give me a little bit of grace. As I start introducing the new members, if you're here, please stand to be recognized. First off, we've got Angry Anvil. Contact Chris Blevins, Angry Anvil. Okay. Second, we've got Association of the United States Army, Lake Cumberland Chapter, Bradley Armentrout. The Association of the United States Army is a nonprofit educational and professional development association serving America's Army and all of our nation's veterans. AUSA provides a voice for the Army, supports the soldier, and honors all who have served. AUSA has 122 chapters worldwide and is open to everyone, whether you have a relationship with the United States Army or would simply like to offer your support to our soldiers. AUSA welcomes anyone who subscribes to the philosophy of a strong national defense with special concern for the Army. Contact Bradley Armentrout, 808-321-2957, or visit their website at ausa.org for more information. Davis Communications, contact Danielle Davis. Ditch It Junk Removal, contact Fred Mills. There's Fred. Ditch It Junk Removal is your local junk removal pros. They provide professional junk hauling services to residential and commercial clients. Responsible, reliable, and timely, they are here to make sure you have a fuss-free rubbish removal experience. That's a fuss-free rubble removal experience. Locally owned and operated, Ditch It Junk Removal provides service to Somerset and all surrounding areas with professional junk removal services. Their company offers a variety of affordable and competitive price services that include basement cleanout, mattress disposal, waste recycling, yard waste removal, post-construction hauling, and more. They keep all of your information private and secure and confidential, so you don't have to worry about that. Their waste disposal experts are ready to discuss your needs and provide you with a quote. Estimates are free, and you can contact them at 606-391-7241 or visit them on the web at ditchitjunkremoval.com. Eastern Kentucky University Colonel Club. The contact is Robert Sampson. And of course, Gail Creekmore is here today representing the Eastern Kentucky Colonels as well. I happen to be alumni a couple times from Eastern. Yep. Final Touches Painting and Restoration, contract Trevor Mayfield. Trevor, there you are. Final Touches Painting and Restoration specializes in professional painting, high-pressure cleaning, drywall repair services, deck restoration, gutter cleaning, and gutter guard installation. With over 14 years of experience, owner Trevor Mayfield is fully insured and can provide multiple references from past clients. In fact, Trevor does not accept payment until the job is complete. For more information, contact Trevor at 606-425-0511. Fox Total Car Care. Contact Michael Fox. Michael? All right, Fox Total Car Care is Somerset's newest auto repair and tire shop. With almost 30 years of retail experience in the auto industry, Fox Total Car Care provides full automotive service for Somerset and surrounding communities. Whether it's time to change your tires or check your alignment, or you just simply need an engine diagnostic, you can count on the qualified technicians at Fox Total Car Care for quality workmanship, honest advice, and fair prices. For a quote or other information, contact Michael Fox at 606-416-5010 or check them out on the web at foxtotalcarcare.com. Roy's HVAC, contact Chris Roy. The Barn, a Peddler's Paradise, contact Jody and Dennis Greer. All right, that's all of our new members today. Thank you for suffering through that with me.
All right. Thank you, Sean. Our chamber is as strong as it is today because of our chamber ambassadors. If you're an ambassador, please stand up to be recognized. It is my pleasure to announce our ambassador of the month is once again Josh Collins from Slade Properties and Eagle Realty. Come on up. He's on a roll. All right, thank you. Okay, today's corporate sponsors are Prairie Farms Dairy, Mike Chandler, past president of our chamber. Thank you for all you do, and thank you for the free ice cream today. That's really exciting. Make sure you get some. And First and Farmers National Bank, and I think Martin Cranfield will say a few words on their behalf.
Thank you, Bobby and Tiffany, for allowing us to sponsor today's luncheon. I'm not going to bore you all with talking about our products like our $99 closing cost special on home loans that does have a 30-year fixed rate, or how competitive our commercial loan offerings are. The thing that I want to highlight the most are our greatest asset, and we've got a few tables of individuals representing First and Farmers over here. From top to bottom, from our newest employees like Joel Hensley, who came over to us from Citizens, to our most tenured folks, who we've got 28 people that have worked for us here in Somerset and Pulaski County for over 20 years. 16 of those people have been with us for over 30 years, and 9 of those people have been with us for over 40 years, right here in Somerset, Kentucky. We have built a team and an atmosphere that I think is second to none, and I would put our group up against anybody in not just Pulaski County, but in Kentucky. You can come and talk to them and know that you're going to get taken care of, and that's what truly sets First and Farmers National Bank apart. We've got a great board of directors, 2 of which are here with us, been serving on the board for over 18 years, I think going on 18 years, in Johnny Prather and Bill Turpin. We have invested in Somerset, and we will continue to invest in Somerset. We've moved our headquarters here right across the street from Lowe's, and we would love to have an opportunity for your business and would love to take care of you. I think you would find that these folks will be the best in the business as far as taking care of each and every one of you. So thanks again, Bobby, and the Chamber for allowing us to sponsor, and we really greatly appreciate everything you do for Somerset and Pulaski County.
Okay, thank you, Martin. Okay, next is our keynote speakers. I'm going to read both their bios and then ask them to come up and join us. First, from AppHarvest, we have Christopher Scott. Christopher Scott joined AppHarvest in 2020 to oversee construction and commissioning of new facilities. An Appalachian native, he has worked around the world overseeing and develop and construction of buildings, including state-of-the-art fulfillment centers, incorporating complex automation and technology solutions. Christopher served in a variety of leadership roles over the 2 decades for Ingram Micro and Bright Point, which was acquired by Ingram Micro for $650 million in 2012. Our other speaker is Akash Nandi. He is the VP of Deployment Operations at AppHarvest, where he serves as a bridge between the company's leading-edge ag tech innovations and its high-tech indoor farm operations. Akash joined AppHarvest after the acquisition of the tech startup Root AI, where he managed financial, operational, and commercial strategies as CFO and COO. Prior to Root AI, he worked at Netflix building out the company's content and studio initiatives, and as Rothschild as an investment banker for technology M&A. Welcome, Christopher and Akash.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. I'm Chris, and this is Akash. Certainly want to thank everyone for allowing us to join your meeting today. I know that it sounds like we've got some pretty big shoes to fill based on prior guests and keynotes, so we'll do our best. We're also joined by Bob Helton from our development group and Brian Kellner from our community relations team as well. So I know that we're at the tail end of the agenda, and Bobby mentioned we might run a little bit long. I've got all afternoon, so I'd love to stay and talk to you folks. We're incredibly excited about not only what AppHarvest is doing, for the industry, but also the project that we're working on here in the local community as well. So anyway, so thanks again for having us. We've got some slides here, so I'll sort of direct your attention to those things because I want to make sure that we don't focus on Akash and I too much, but more so in what AppHarvest is doing. And I will say that if you noticed, I think on the prior invitation for this meeting, that the keynote was actually Jonathan Webb, who is the founder and CEO of AppHarvest. So Jonathan was here in the community yesterday hosting some congressmen and is now in Madrid, Spain. He's headlining another event there where the majority of Europe's fruit and vegetables actually come from greenhouse operations. And it's pretty incredible given the history of our involvement that he's already being asked to join a panel and speak in a huge forum there in Madrid about what we have going on here in Eastern Kentucky. So I'd be remiss to not say that, but for Jonathan, we wouldn't have jobs. So we're incredibly excited to work for him and for AppHarvest as well. So we can, thank you, whoever did that. So there are a couple of really interesting things about our business. This is our Morehead farm, which was placed into service in October of 2020. So it's on its first full year of service. And prior to our summer turnover, we were producing upwards of 100,000 tomatoes a day. An incredible feat considering what was accomplished. This company was a startup a year and a half ago. They've gone from a handful of employees that you could fit in one minivan into over 500 employees now. They were able to raise the money and build this building, which is 60 acres under roof, during COVID, and have a successful first year. So it's just a testament to the hard work and the vision that Jonathan and his staff have helped lead us through. We've made some incredibly bold statements about what our growth plan is. If you follow the company actually went public in March of this year. So it went from fewer than 15 or 20 employees in the fall of last year to being a publicly traded company with over 500 employees in that time frame. We have launched multiple new building projects. Over the course of the past 10 months, we've launched another 60-acre tomato facility in Richmond, Kentucky, and a 15-acre leafy green or lettuce facility in Berea. And then we'll talk to you a little bit more in detail about the project that we have coming up here in Somerset as well. So if you could advance the slide for us. We've actually brought our company hype video because I think that will best tell the story in terms of the initial kind of going in position of our company, also some of the great people that are associated with it.
We at AppHarvest have set a goal to be one of the largest food and agriculture producers in the world. We have a workforce that is unmatched.
One of the world's largest agri-tech greenhouses in Morehead, Kentucky.
First of all, I love the flavor. They are so good.
Thank you. So, you can do it again? So a little bit about me, just quickly. I mentioned my bio earlier, but I was invited to visit AppHarvest back in October of last year when there was no revenue, there was no guarantee that the company would go public, and that it was sort of a crazy idea led by a very charismatic guy. And I visited for one day. I returned home to Indianapolis where I was living at that point, told my wife, I'm quitting my job and I'm going to Kentucky to help lead this operation. And with 3 kids in college and a burn rate that was incredibly high, she's like, you're crazy, but like, look, this is the real deal. This is incredible to meet these people and so forth, and also to see the mission and the vision behind what's going on here. So with that being said, we've had Somerset and Pulaski County on our radar now for quite some time. And through the work with the SPEDA organization and several of the other local business leaders, we've been fortunate enough to actually launch this project that I'm displaying here. So for many of you may have been aware or participated even in our groundbreaking ceremony back in June This facility is located at Dahl Road and 112 Wright Lane, and I believe the farm was purchased from the Wright family to be able to support this, but it's directly behind the TTIA facility. This will be our first 30-acre strawberry facility, and this photo was taken Friday afternoon when the sun was still out before the rain kicked in over the weekend. This is, if you think about where we were at just a couple of months ago and where it is today, it's hard to see, but I can walk you through some of the details. That facility is operating from a construction point of view at lightning speed. We've partnered with some best-in-class partners to help us accelerate our process, and this will be built in 50% of the time that our Richmond and Berea projects were built. So we will actually turn this facility into a growing and revenue-generating facility in 12 months as opposed to 22 to 24 months. So we're particularly excited. It puts a lot of pressure on us as an organization to make good, sound decisions, to partner with the right public utility representatives and making sure that we're doing the right thing on a timely basis and not retracing our steps. But we're incredibly excited because this is, not only do we meet all of our initial marks in terms of the schedule, but I mean, right like clockwork, we also hit bedrock. We found a cave on the site. We've had crazy sources of water. Everything that Eastern Kentucky has to give, we've been able to experience and in some cases overcome. But either way, just thanks to the hard work from a number of the people who are here in the audience and the supporters, and particularly our employees for getting us to this point. So, slide. I'll take some applause too if you want to start. Yeah, all right. So I'm going to let Akash actually handle the next couple slides here, and then we'll get back.
Hey, first of all, I want to say thank you for inviting us here today. As Kentucky's newest resident, you guys really know how to make a guy feel welcome. I want to share a little bit about why we're doing what we're doing. You know, Chris talked about what we're building, but there's a fundamental question: why do this at all? I'll be the first to admit I'm probably not what you think of when you think of farmer. You know, it was kind of a surprise pivot for me as well. But one of the things that I learned that opened my eyes is that we'll need 2 planet Earths to be able to sustain the number of people that we have in the world by the year 2050. The way we do things simply isn't sustainable. And so Jonathan Webb, our CEO and founder's vision about creating a new way of feeding ourselves is something that I'm happy to wake up to and work with every single day. Now, to step back a bit, I joined AppHarvest through a robotics company that they acquired earlier this year. And what we were doing was building the technology so that you could grow food closer to home. Right now, the way we feed ourselves, it just doesn't work. We get over half of our food from other countries. And what COVID highlighted was that you can't always rely on that. We need more resilience. We need more independence in how we choose to feed ourselves and our future generations. And so our group at AppHarvest, the technology division, we got some of the smartest folks in the world in Seattle, in Boston, in Chicago, working on building state-of-the-art tech for agriculture. And my job is to bring all of that down here to Kentucky and hire folks so that they can learn how to use it, improve it, deploy it, and feed people with food that we produce closer to home. You go one slide forward. This is an eye chart, but basically it's saying that over the years we're pushing more and more of our production out of the country. That's simply not sustainable. It's not sustainable from the way we feed ourselves. It's not sustainable from a nutrition standpoint. Most of all, it's not sustainable from an environmental standpoint, you know. So what we're doing is building these greenhouses. You know, Chris highlighted just a few of them that we're working on, and these things are massive. I mean, really inspiring. You can produce 30 times as much food per square acre as you can in outdoor field production. So we're able to create a whole new way of feeding ourselves that's never really been done before in this country. Now, I'll pass it back to Chris for the next slide to talk a little bit about what that looks like.
Thanks, Akash. So for most of you, I think I actually even heard a greenhouse mentioned earlier today, perhaps where the mums came from. You think about like traditional kind of hothouse. When it's freezing cold out, we had this ice storm this past year. It's 72 degrees, it's bright, it's got, you know, our associates are in shorts and t-shirts and in some cases even wearing sunglasses. But one of the things that's incredible about the greenhouse systems that we've been constructing is the fact that they are pretty much self-sustaining to the extent that we obviously take advantage of the sunlight that we have available to us. We capture 100% of the water, rainwater, and as we've learned in this area of the state, it's feast or famine with respect to rain. We either get none or we get 2 to 3 inches at a time. But we've got as large as 10-acre retention ponds on our sites that we're able to not only capture the rainwater, but then be our own supplier. So we're insulated from things like these other conditions where you'll see forest fires and droughts and supply chain issues in Southern California and New Mexico and so forth. We're able to basically not only collect, but also prepare our own irrigation for our plants. And it speaks a little bit about how we're doing that as well, which is primarily through applied technology to this. So we create not only the perfect conditions, but also feed and nourish these plants with the perfect amount of resources. So it's really just an incredible undertaking. The technology that we use, the buildings that we're building, our goal, among other things, is to be able to do not only a best-in-class solution for these facilities going forward, but also to source as much of this domestically as possible. I mean, we are far and away the largest greenhouse system in the United States, and we want to be able to leverage local suppliers as it relates to steel and glass and all the things that support it. We also need people, and if you can go roll the next slide. And, you know, one of the things that we are particularly proud of is that the company was founded on a few main principles, primarily that we are going to attract and hire local resources, and that we will employ 100% of the associates that work for us. They're direct employees. We're a living wage company. We supply full benefits. So the benefits that I receive and Akash and Bob and Brian are available to every one of our associates from the very first day or the first day that they're eligible. So it's just a remarkable approach. We have a very high participation rate as it relates to our 401k program, upwards of 90% participation there. And really, you know, one of the other things too that we've tried to introduce is this idea of diversity amongst not only our workforce but our board. You saw one of our board members, Martha Stewart, on one of the videos with Jonathan. But as we look at being a corporate citizen, we want to make sure that we've got the right influence on us as a leadership team, as well as we're well represented across that spectrum as it relates to public companies, and especially, if we may have mentioned it previously, but if not, we are a publicly traded B Corp, which is, there's only a few of them in that exist in the world. I think maybe 5 total, but AppHarvest was the 5th. So not only do we have a social responsibility relative to the work we're doing as an employer, but then we have a massive responsibility from a sustainability perspective. So all the things that we promote about our business, we have to stand up for and represent and actually show that we're actually living, you know, walking the talk, so to speak. So it's an interesting circumstance, you know, taking the most fundamental, you know, commodity that we have as a country in a region, and then applying technology and also their accountability to that. So anyway, go to the next slide. Okay, so these are brands that I'm sure if you shop, you recognize. So people will ask right away, where can we find your tomatoes? Where can we find, you know, lettuce and strawberries and that type of thing? In retail. For any of you that have worked in supply chain or fulfillment operations, we're the beneficiary of having everything that we grow pre-sold before it ever leaves our dock. We've got one partner, Master Nandi, who's arguably the country's largest distributor of fruits and vegetables. And we maintain relationships with many of the brands that you see there, as well as others. And as Akash and I were talking about prepping for the session today, it was interesting that I've seen our tomatoes all over the country already. I mean, in little tiny, you know, Amelia Island in Florida, I was there, or Anna Marie Island, pardon me, and I was there recently, and the only Publix on the island, I found our tomatoes. I found them in Asheville. I have found them up and down the Eastern Seaboard, not because I went looking for them, but just because I'm like you, I shop, or my wife and I shop together, and we see these things. So it's incredibly exciting to see where our, you know, this first generation of our tomatoes are showing up. Not only here, but also in restaurants. We grow beefsteak tomatoes, the traditional tomatoes that you'll put on a sandwich, but also Campari and some other designer tomatoes as well, and we'll have more of those types of things coming out this next growing season. So anyway, the easiest way to find our tomatoes, go to Kroger, locally, but nonetheless, they're available in these places. So.
There are a lot of words on this screen in the green boxes. You can ignore them. What I want you to look at is just the picture. That's our Morehead, Kentucky facility. It's 60 acres, and to put that in scale, imagine 50 football fields under glass and LED lights. When it was built, it was the 9th biggest building in the world. It can produce up to 40 million pounds of tomatoes a year, and this is just the first of what we've got planned over the next few years. Now, if we could go to the next slide. And it's a really compelling solution, but people always ask me, well, if it's such a perfect solution, why don't you see more of them? Why aren't there greenhouses already? And the simple answer is because they're hard. I mean, these things are incredibly expensive to build. They're challenging to operate. They're really difficult to scale. And so what we're doing here at AppHarvest is creating this layer of technology, of software and artificial intelligence, robotics, to make these things move from being farms to factories for food, where you can consistently, predictably, nutritiously produce year-round. And that's really where I come in. And selfishly, I'm going to take some time to pitch what we do. We're trying to hire, the best and brightest folks down here. I'm looking at you, Ethan, in particular, to help us start scaling these operations. My team, it's small. It started with just one person, me, down here. We've hired 5 more people this past month. We'll do 5 more before end of year, and we're going to continue expanding super rapidly. And so if you're interested in agriculture, if you're interested in scaling AppHarvest's vision, I'd ask you to come find me. To close out, we're going to go to the next slide and show you what we're building, one of our robots.
straight to you. Faster, fresher, from our farm to your fork. The future of farming is here. This is Farming Now.
All right, and so to wrap, what does the future of farming, or if you ask me what does the future of food look like, I'd point you to those tomatoes on store shelves that Chris talked about. Thank you very much.
They'll take a question if anybody has one.
What about insecticides, insects, that type of thing?
Is this on? Okay, absolutely. So what you will find is that we use very few pesticides in our operation. That's our last resort in many cases, and I can't actually account for when we have used them. What you will see in our environment is it's bright. We have bumblebees because we can't. we need other things, insects, to pollinate and cross-pollinate, just like nature meant it to be. And we are acutely aware and concerned about food safety. Technically, we fall under the USDA's governance and the FDA to the extent that all of our associates go through traditional sanitization, stalls, that type of thing. We make certain that we're not transferring disease from one side of our greenhouse to another. So a lot of our associates will manage individual rows of tomatoes in this case, and with an idea that they are dedicated to that area. They're witnessing the plants. Each of our plants actually has its own personal dripper, basically, And it actually, we can actually take not only the technology that we have talked about previously to feed those plants, but RFID tagging to actually monitor what happens in that aisle, and we can trace some of those things. So yeah, we're not disease proof. The industry will never be such, but we take great steps to do that. So it's a good question. Yeah, so the question was, is it hydroponic, or what's the sort of the definition? And I'll do my best to describe this, and maybe Akash can bail me out. So we grow in a gutter system, essentially. So, and we start our plants with a propagator, so when the tomatoes come to our facility, they're 3 or 4 inches tall, and they're of a seed variety that we've selected in the prior year, and sometimes even longer than that. So when they arrive at our facility, we literally have just a matter of hours to get them out of the reefer trailers they come in and planted. So it's an all hands on deck situation with us. And the growing media is a rock wool. It's okay. You might be familiar with a product called rock wool, which is basically a kind of a manufactured material, but it's nonetheless, these plants are actually seeded in this rock wool material, and you'll be amazed to see them when you get the opportunity to see them in person, but basically they're not plants, they're like trees. They're basically, at the end of a growing cycle, will be upwards of 20 feet tall and actually crawl and grow and be trained in that environment. So, but the idea is that we capture everything in that gutter system to be able to recycle the water that those plants are being fed, and then we also are able to de-leaf the plants and kind of manage the plants such that everything falls underneath. And at the end of each growing cycle, it's the biggest composting event you've ever seen. We actually close that loop on our growing cycle with respect to composting all those materials as well. So very little, if any, actually leaves our facility that doesn't either get consumed, feed animals in some cases. We're actually using some of our spoils to feed cattle and some other things, and then or in a kind of a proper kind of sustainability approach.
Take one more question.
You bet. Yeah. I know your question. I'm not surprised to be asked that. You're not the first person today. So we went public through, and I'll try to make this quick, through a special purpose acquisition company. So SPAC is the title. It's an acronym. SPACs have been around for 20 years, but they became really popular about 1.5 years, 2 years ago. DraftKings went public through a SPAC, as well as Virgin Galactic, 2 companies that were technology plays, and I don't know that Virgin Galactic will send anyone into space for a while, but regardless, they went public through a SPAC. I'm incredibly familiar with this because that was my introduction to AppHarvest as well, which is someone that I knew that was involved in raising the money to find a company to go public with. And when they found AppHarvest, it became the fastest transaction from a SPAC concept to going public, and I believe it was done in 16 or 17 weeks. During that time frame, 120 SPACs existed, which were all out hunting for acquisition targets. So AppHarvest can say one thing, that they're the fastest conversion. And since then, actually, that pace has kind of slowed down a little bit. So I think that the Department of Justice and some other governing organizations wanted to make sure that this thing wasn't a wickedly out of control thing. So we are a startup, and make no mistake about it. And we've had one public reporting period. So the value of our stock and those things, I'm not really at liberty to talk about per se, but I can say is that it's perfectly natural to have highs and lows on a startup operation. It's just unpredictable. Akash and myself have been involved in probably 6 or 8, and it's not for the weak. And some days you just wonder what in the world's happening. But what I will say is that we were able to take the direct proceeds from going public and fund our farms in Morehead, Richmond, Berea, and the Somerset project as well. So, and those are all that's all public information. We've been able to fund many of those things. Granted, we do leverage and use debt like most companies would. Money's inexpensive right now. But I would say that over the next several reporting periods, next few quarters, you'll learn a lot more about AppHarvest and where we're headed. We feel particularly responsible for being good stewards of the money and also fulfilling the mission. And you'll see in some of our announcements that we're actually looking at alternative, kind of ways to use tomatoes and that type of thing for other value-added products and so forth as well. So we're particularly excited. The things that we can't talk about are probably more exciting than things that we can right now. So I'll leave it at that. Yeah. All right. I'll be around afterwards. So.
Okay, get your blue tickets out. We're going to give away a few door prizes before we leave. Yeah. All right, the first one's for a 20% off M&W printing, donated by M&W Printing. The last 4 digits is 4039. Okay, right back here. Next, we have a $20 gift certificate to R&B Dry Cleaner, donated by R&B Dry Cleaners. Last 4 digits are 4235. Oh, right back here, Crystal. You see, way back here on the left. Okay. Next, we have a gift certificate, $25 to Buffalo Wings and Rings. The last 4 digits is 4206. Right here. And then we have another Buffalo Wings and Rings gift card for $25. That's 4409. All the way in the back. Okay. Next we have a heart. Oh. Okay. Do what? Okay. Okay. This is $20 to Mike Whitaker's Hardee's. Last 4 is 4416. Oh, over here. Okay, a few more. Next is a pumpkin floral arrangement given by Glory Gardens and Greenhouse. Last 4 digits is 4402. Oh, that's my brother, my big brother over there. He'll give that to his sister, hopefully. Or his pregnant wife. Okay, so next is a Yeti cup from Hinkle Contracting. Last 4 digits, 4213. Oh, back there. Yep. Okay, I like this one. Free blizzards for a year given by Dairy Queen. I'm going to go in the very bottom. Get ready. It is 4230. Way in the back there. Can't see who that is. Okay, and okay, we have 2 gifts from Wells Family Craft. One is choice from anything at their table. Where is their table? Right over here. So you can go up after and pick out anything you want. 4248. Oh, over here. Okay. Over here at Cellcom. Okay. And then the next one is a leather kind of catch-all ballet. They said if you don't want this, you can also come over and exchange it for something at their table. 4254. Doing pretty good. No? Okay. We'll pull again. It's 4046. Oh, over here. Okay, our next chamber luncheon is Tuesday, November 2nd. We have Kentucky Farm Bureau President Mark Haney in attendance. And then I'm going to ask my friend and my boss, Farrah Dobbs, to come up and do the pledge. Lead us in the pledge, please.
Which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you all.